Good morning, everyone!
Good morning, everyone.
Here we are, another day at the Factory of Dreams, making things happen, creating videos, creating memories. What's new?
Nothing's new, really.
Last night we watched Peaky Blinders again.
We did.
It's very good, very good. It's always good, Peaky Blinders, though. It's always good. How many episodes are in the season?
6, I think.
6. So we've watched 2 or 3? 2.
2.
Yeah, so it's going really well. Any news in the world? Anything going on? Got some cat treats coming for Edgar today?
Cat treats coming for Edgar, coffee coming for us.
Yeah, human treats.
His fur is really soft now. When he came to us, he was like, it was all like really hard, crispy fur, wasn't it?
Yeah, it's like brainy. You feel like you've been rolling in like dust and sand.
Well, he probably had been. He'd been sleeping under a bush for the last 6 months.
Yeah.
In my parents' garden.
But now it's really soft.
Really soft.
Yeah, he's having a lovely time.
But he does have a habit of going for a big smelly 9 o'clock poo and then jumping on me with his pooey litter paws.
Yeah, which is not good.
So I had to wash the bed sheets yesterday.
Right, let me get this email today. Again, guys, thanks for the emails. They're very good. It was a very busy day yesterday for the emails. The phone was buzzing a lot.
It was.
It was great. So thank you again. So this is from a girl called Chloe Watterson. Good name. And her question is, we've had a lot of questions about this topic, and it's about quick changes. Loads of people have asked about this.
Yeah.
And she said, do you have to rehearse quick changes? Are they timed specifically? And do you have any quick change stories, funny or embarrassing? So I think we'll talk about that. And I'll start, because I think it's important to say that they are rehearsed.
Yeah.
You have to rehearse them. And that's normally done, or is done during tech. That's when it's like important to rehearse.
Yeah. Can
you make it on in time?
And that's when you've got all the elements of a show as well that could play out in making your quick change difficult. Like you've got all the set, you're in the venue where routes are different. Because when you're in a rehearsal room, it's just like marked in tape on the floor.
Yeah.
So you running from one side of a rehearsal room to the other, pretending to put clothes on, of course you can make it.
Yeah.
But as soon as you get into tech and you've got the right set, the right venue, the right costume, the right amount of music with the orchestra, because that tends to be either a little bit faster or a little bit slower than just a pianist in a rehearsal room.
Yeah. So
it has to be done during tech, so you've got the correct environment in order to make it or not make it.
It's really funny in tech as well, because sort of quick changes are not on the priority. It sounds weird, but they're not. Like, there's a lot going on in tech. And if there's a bit of miscommunication, and what always happens is that someone goes and does their quick change before we're ready to move on. So you have to sort of run it in situ. So, say Hairspray. So we're going from Good Morning Baltimore straight into Nicest Kids in Town. Yeah?
Yeah.
Like, and you'll have to clarify with the director and be like, are we running quick changes? Because a lot of times you get to the end of Good Morning Baltimore and go, right, we're going to go from the top of Good Morning Baltimore again, and someone's already in the wings like, getting changed into the...
Nicest Kids in Town.
Yeah, Nicest Kids in Town. So it's always one of those things that always happens in tech. But they are rehearsed in tech. And what helps with the really quick changes, in like most like regional and like obviously West End theatres, they have like dressers. So they're always there, but sometimes they're so busy that they might not be there, which is a bit scary.
Yeah.
But if it's a really, really quick change, you'll be a priority. So you will be like, they will help you. And it's also funny that with a quick change, you come out and you go, right, what, 20 seconds to do this quick change, a full costume and maybe a wig.
Yeah.
And you're like, there's no way I'm doing this. You start it and go, there's no way I'm doing this. And the first time you do it, you don't make it.
No.
You never make it the first time. Or if you do, it's literally by the skin of your teeth. And in your head you're thinking, I can't do this every night. And you always put yourself through it, but you know that by the end of the run, or not even that, like a couple of weeks in,
you'll have time to spare.
You'll have like, you'll be chatting, be like, you're right, yeah, it's good, isn't it? Yeah, did you watch the football yesterday, whatever, and walk on. You'll have like 30 seconds where you never had 30 seconds before. But you do have to rehearse them, and it's like, having a good dresser helps.
Oh my god, yeah. Having people around you who know exactly what they have to do and how to do it in a way that really helps you is so perfect. Like, when doing Heather's, because that's the fastest quick change I've ever had to do, and that was like, it's a full outfit change, but it was so quick that there was no way it's like, I think it was like 31 seconds that we had, or like
yeah,
just over or just under 30 seconds between okay and everyone going into it's a 30-second quick change.
Yeah.
So I had to wear all of my blue Veronica stuff under my like normal Veronica stuff from the beginning of the show, and it was like a tearaway dress.
Yeah.
So the back of it was all poppered, and then it was just a big baggy denim jacket and a scarf over the top. And originally they wanted me to wear like a different pair of shoes. They wanted me to put on a different pair of shoes, and they handed me 2 pairs of lace-ups.
Yeah.
And I was like,
there's no way.
there is absolutely no way. Can we just make it so that Veronica in everyday life just likes the colour blue, and she just happens to have blue shoes anyway?
Yeah.
Please. I used to have my socks on but rolled down. So I'd get into the wings and I'd take off my scarf and my jacket, because we only had the one dresser between most of us.
Yeah.
Out of a cast of like 16. So I'd take off my jacket and my scarf, she'd rip, like just tear away the back of the dress because it was all just like plastic poppers. Whilst that was happening, our company manager would pull my socks up. She'd be in, was it our company manager?
She's company stage manager, isn't she?
Yeah, so our company stage manager would pull my socks up, so I'd have to like alternate legs as I'm getting this, because it was like poppered down the back, but then I'd have to pull it off from the front. And bless him, sound number 1 would stand there with my water bottle.
Yeah.
So sweet. But we were so sort of, it was such a small company and a small cast that there was no way that quick change could have happened just me and Rose.
Yeah.
Like not in time. But yeah, the first quick change, I literally just made it before. And you know. And I remember being like, and you know. I was so out of breath.
Yeah.
But then by the end of it, there's a video that I put in one of my vlogs where I literally do it, and I've got time to be like,
Yeah.
like sorting out my shirt, and then just casually walks on to wait in front of the doors, and I've still got like 6 or 7 seconds before I've just stood in front of the doors.
Yeah.
So we ended up getting it down to a 17-second quick change.
That's amazing.
17 seconds! Ridiculous.
It's also what like makes that as well as like the genius of like wardrobe. There are certain things that save so many seconds. Like shoes, for example, are the worst in the world.
Yeah.
Like shoes are just like terrible. They always will slow down any quick change by far. But like just changing the laces to like black elastic, and then like tying them so that they're like loose enough and tight enough so you can just slip them on. So that's like one cheap, like bam, bam, like poppers, Velcro. Underdressing is like a big thing as well. Like realizing what you can underdress. Like you technically underdressed your socks and your shoes, if that makes sense.
And my everything.
Oh yeah, and everything. Under the big dress. So like there's so much things, and that's what you sort of work out in tech, and like how can I save seconds here? And I did that in Back to the Future, which is I had a sort of crazy 3 numbers. So you guys probably don't know much about Back to the Future in terms of its like plot and stuff, because it's not been released really, unless you're in Manchester this year. But there's a song called, we like to call it Cake, but I actually don't know what it's called. I think it's called Cake and Eat It, or Have You Cake and Eat It Too, or whatever, but we just call it Cake. And basically that song's in 1955, so it's like the first time Marty travels back to 1955, and he's back into like Hill Valley, and it's 1955, and I played a gardener actually wearing something like this, like dungarees, these like big denim dungarees. And then straight after that, we go into the diner where we meet George McFly and Biff for the first time, and I'm one of Biff's mates, so then I'm 3D in that, so I've got to be 3D. And then right after that, it goes into Gotta Start Somewhere, which is a song which Goldie Wilson sings, and I'm back into the gardener. So when I'm the gardener the first time, I'm like half 3D. Like under my dungarees, I've got 3D's jeans on, so I'm like double jeaning. So I used to be like, bloody hell, this feels weird, but you sort of get used to it.
Yeah. And
I've got like 3D's like underneath his like the gardener stuff. So basically I was just like gardener, 3D, then back into gardener. It was the weirdest thing, but it's one of those things that I worked out what I can underdress to save time. So from the gardener into 3D, that first change was so quick, and I felt like I had the whole team just with me. Yeah. Because I had like 3D glasses as well, and in the gardener I had a hat, and so then I'd come off and I was like, can I have someone like from Wigs like here? Because I took my hat off, and my hair would be like this, and I'd go on to do like 3D, And I'd be like, I can't see my hair in the way it's what it looks like. Just someone there with a bit of kind of hairspray and a brush.
And also, like, hats are a nightmare for mics as well. Did you have Britney mics?
Yeah, Britney mics.
Oh yeah, it's harder when you've got like mics that sit on your forehead and you've got to wear a hat. I had that with Eponine all the time. Because at least when you're wearing a wig, the lace just keeps it in the right place.
Yeah.
The lace just keeps it there. But when you're wearing your own hair and it's threaded through your own hair and you've got to wear a hat, everyone's like, what's your hat doing? Where's your mic? Like, everyone's like freaking out about what your mic is doing underneath the hat.
Yeah, sound are really weird about hats.
Yeah.
Sound do not like hats. Is any quick changes ever gone wrong for you? Have you ever not made one?
No. In tech, I've definitely not made them, but never on stage.
Yeah.
I think when it comes to like underdressing when you're in a show that's set in the last couple decades, at least you know you'll be wearing stuff that's like baggy or at least thin. When you come to shows like Les Mis and you've got to underdress and it's like corsets and stockings and bloomers, like the stuff that I had to wear at the beginning of the show when I was Eponine was hilarious.
Yeah.
I had to wear, here we go, had to wear a pair of what are called pea pickers, which are like these suede shoes that had a heel about that, like a small heel, 2 pairs of stockings, a pair of bloomers, a cami, a corset, a skirt and then a corset. Then on top of that I would have a shirt, like a farm shirt, and then a skirt that was 2 skirts. So it would have a brown layer and a blue layer on top, and what you do is you'd roll up the blue layer and tuck it in like it was a big like basket, and so the brown underneath layer would show. So that would be when you were pea picking, and you'd pick the peas and put them off into your rolled up skirt like it was a thing, like it was a basket. And then a corset over the top of that velcroed, and a hat, a really stupid straw hat. And then when you went into the quick change for the factory, you take off the velcro corset, take off the shirt underneath, and roll down your skirt. You put on a blue factory shirt and tuck it in, and put on a blue hat. You tuck all of your wig, in my case, up into the hat. And then over the top of that was the beggar's outfit, because beggars came first.
That's a lot.
Yeah.
It must have been well hot.
Yeah, but the great thing was is that after the factory, you just took everything off. You didn't have to switch anything on. You just took everything off, so you were in your under lovely ladies layer. But yeah, when it was like July, August, and it's like 28 degrees outside, and you all stood inside wearing about 14 layers, including like big, thick, heavy coats and gloves, you're like, oh my God, I'm so hot.
Yeah. I was just thinking about like quick changes, and we talked about swings a couple of videos ago. Your first like crack at the show is the first time you're on for a track you don't know yet. Like, as in, you know the track, but you don't know which track it's going to be.
Yeah.
And in Spooky Mom and Hell Dream in Mormon, there's I'm talking 15 seconds change, and it's for 3 or 4 Mormons, maybe 4, who are underdressed with these devil costumes. You remember them?
Yeah, yeah.
I don't remember them, with like the wigs, and they've got like spikes on their hands. And basically they're pretty much all puppered, like down the side. They're a nightmare to get into.
Yeah.
But they're just like big, like sort of onesies, is probably the best way to describe them. Some of the Mormons have got their like shirt and ties and black trousers underneath that.
Right.
Stupid change. But do you want a bit of anxiety? The first time you do that change, 7 seconds, whatever it is, 10 seconds, is on the day. We have no tech. You don't get teched into it. When a swing is a swing, during tech, they don't go, right, let's get the swings in now to do the quick change so they know how it's done. You don't do it. It is scary.
Because the worst.
Yeah, I was doing Spooky Morning Hell Dream for the first time, doing that track which had a quick change. I'm like, oh my God, like, I was doing it, like doing the dance, and in the back of my mind, I was thinking, I got that quick change at the end. I got that quick change, and I'm not gonna make it. You know, you think, I'm not gonna make this. One of those quick changes is like notorious because some people haven't made it before. Yeah. Because it's so quick. Yeah. And also there's a way to do it. Yeah. Which, if you've not done your research as a swing, you wouldn't know. You know, like to come in, like head down, so they can take your hat and your wig off. Then they'd rip that popper, and then you turn around and they'd grab your shoulders and rip it down. And then you step out of it, check your hair and run back on. That's how like you would do it. And there was one time I was on for like another track which had a quick change as well. And it was like, I never really did that track. And just before Spooky Mom and Hell Dream, he's a hobbit in Making Things Up Again, and he's got to kneel down at the back, like as a hobbit on his knees. And in Spooky Mum and Haldream, there's a lot of like knee slides and stuff. So a lot of people have knee pads on, and I didn't think anyway. I had my knee pads on, did Spooky Mum and Haldream, ran into the wings for this quick change, like getting off, and then this amazing dresser, she was really good. She was like, "Your knee pads?" I was like, "Yeah, I know." I put my knee pads over my trousers. So obviously when I got underdressed like half an hour ago, I was like, trousers, knee pads over my trousers as a moment. And she was like, oh, like, and she just grabbed them. I was like, getting the other one, and she was doing the other one. I was in the wings like trying to get these knee pads off.
Oh my God.
Literally just got them off. And normally I should have ran back on stage and do like a little loop and then go into the scene, but I had no time. So I just went into the scene just before the lights changed, and I just made it. But yeah, that was mental.
Oh my God. I just remembered I've done wig quick changes as well.
Yeah.
That's stressful because you are not in control.
Yeah.
Like, there's nothing you can do to help.
Yeah.
And like in the moment, like there's things you can do prior. So I learnt that when you go into, after I Dreamed a Dream and you go into the red light district, it's all like you go on and off and on and off and on and off quite a lot. Bye, Edgar.
Got to do a quick change.
Yeah, he'll be back in a minute in a different colour. So yeah, I figured out to help matters, I could, when I go off, just before I go on for the time before the wig change, I could take the side and the back pins out, and when someone, what were they doing? Oh yeah, so I'd go off and someone would give me a slightly like more deathly look because time has passed since I Dreamed a Dream, which is much less healthy. So someone would give me a bit of sort of like contouring, like deathly contouring, and I'd be taking my pins out and they'd be doing it with one hand and have their hand like that, so I could just put the pins into the hand and run back on. And that's when the sailors are doing that, I smell women, smell them in the air. And it's horrible as well because you've got one ear on the stage and you can hear your time running out. That's the scariest thing for me. You can hear time going. So when it actually came to the wig change, it would literally be a case of run, because I had like such an awkward route as well where the wiggies would be, so say you're the audience, the wiggies would be in this wing right at the top, but my exit would be from here to here. And then I'd have to go all the way down the front of the wing. And in that time, as soon as I was out of sight, you have to pull your wig from the back forward, and I'd literally fling it at cell number 2 and put my head down and put my hand like that. So I'd grab the front of the wig and place it, and then she'd whack it on, and literally it's, so you've got, God, I'm weary, sick enough to drop, belly burns like fire, will the bleeding never stop? Cheer up, dearie, show a happy face. Plenty more like you do if you can't pick up the pace. Only joking, dearie knows her place. You're on. Yeah. And half of that is running. Yeah. So, like, by the time you're actually with your wiggy, he's already singing. Yeah. Cheer up, dearie. And so you've literally got like 4 lines to get that wig off and on. Yeah. And it's like when she gets her hair cut, so it's like a really weird, awful Rod Stewart wig. There was never sort of any time to breathe. It'd always be like, get it on, look up, and she goes, yep, you're good, and just walk straight on. Yeah. And there was nothing worse than getting on stage and feeling like part of the lace up like that, and not being able to do anything about it. And just being like, oh no. Most wigs, like good wigs anyway, I got laces like around sort of your hairline, and I used to hate it, like when it used to like fling up like that, and you're on stage because you're like, it looks so crap. The good thing was that following that, I was only on stage for maybe like a minute before I had to go off and do a clothes change. Yeah. So I had all of my lovely ladies stuff on underneath my pretty dress, like my pretty Fontaine dress, and that was all like hook and eyes at the back. And yeah, you literally just learn just to stand there and let people do stuff for you. Yeah. So I used to have to unpop my cuffs, and I'd do that as I was running. And yeah, you literally just stand there. And also I learnt to push my shoulder blades together because that helps the hook and eyes undo. So you literally stand there with your shoulder blades back, and I could feel her like push and release. Yeah. And yeah, it meant that someone could just flatten down the sides of my wig. Oh, and also they put makeup on me. So I'd stand there like that. And they'd like smush lipstick on me and a bit of rouge for lovely ladies. Amazing. So funny. It's funny what you have to do for quick changes. Another super, super quick change I had was Beth in War of the Worlds. So my costume was so elaborate and so beautiful. So I had like this massive skirt. I had a bum roll, first of all, big bum roll at the back, big bustle. which was like a cushion that tied around my waist, a massive skirt that was so heavy and was trained at the back, and a top that was also a corset. So it all buttoned, like all hook and eye down the front. But whoever decided to do this must have hated me, because it was like one hook and eye that hooked that way, one hook and eye that hooked that way, one hook and eye that hooked that way, so getting out the whole way down. So getting out of that in a quick change, I literally had to go doosh, 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 like, and it was literally like holding it at the top and alternating your hands as you went down. But doing, like, learning how to do that, like that, I think that was the first quick change I didn't make. I made it on the night, but in situ, that didn't happen. I was like, this is like a straight jacket. Like this is so hard to get out of. But I had to get out of that into a white nightie. So it was literally like getting out of the hardest things in the world, like the most elaborate costume that was just not made. It was made without the thought of quick change.
100%.
Like most costumes in theatre are made going, there's that part in the show where they're going to have to get out of that really quickly, so maybe if we do just hook and eyes all the way down the back, or Velcro or poppers. This was made with like the intention to be worn for 12 hours during the day. Like it was ridiculous. And I remember just being like, someone's going to have to teach me to get out of this, because I don't even know where to start. But also I had to do, because it was done in arenas, I had to like run off stage in like really high heels as well. That was the other thing, I was wearing like really high boots. So I had to get out of it, but then run down a set of stairs to the bottom of the stage to then put on this big cloak and come up on a lift. It was just that's the craziest quick change I think I've ever done. Where every night I was like, I don't know if I'm going to make this. And there literally was no time to spare. There was no time to spare ever. Because also you had to think about the tech side of it as well, because if something wasn't working on their end, I would have to come on from a different entrance. Oh, it was just it was so stressful. so stressful.
That's the thing with costumes though, like I think, like you said, like they do think about quick changes, but I think a lot of times they don't. Because they want their costumes to be just beautiful and whatever, and then they just cross that bridge when they come to it. And it's when you go, I can't get into this, they're like, maybe Velcro then. They want like fancy buttons, and then they go away and they come back and go, is this better? I'll have to talk about probably the most iconic quick change in musical theatre history. Is Turn It Off. I think that is 7 seconds whilst tapping. And also, I just thought in my head, I don't know why Casey Nicholaw did this. I mean, he's a genius and he's won more Tonys than I'll ever probably see. But you also change positions. So you're in a V. This is no joke. You're in a V doing the tap, whatever you're doing. McKinley's always at the front, so McKinley doesn't move. The boys, like I remember being in a V, and like you do like a do-si-do, and people change positions in the V. So when you come up to do the like sort of the next bit, it's a different position. Obviously, it's supposed to be like wow, and that's why. But you've got to do the quick change whilst tapping. And changing positions.
It's probably because it was thought of having the lights on. Like you probably don't think about the fact that they'll be in a blackout at that point, and they'll be doing a quick change, and they'll be tapping. It's like when it's just the quick change and tapping with the lights on, it's like, oh, you can probably get that done. You know what I mean? But then you're like, and do it in pitch black. It's like, what?
All you have is little like glow tape on the floor. It's really scary. Because you do the first clap and it goes dark, and then you carry on tapping, you clap again, lights come up, and then you tap a bit more and you clap again and it goes for 7 seconds. And then you've got to switch places and do the quick change whilst tapping, and 2 other people come on. So I covered them a lot, so that was good. I should just come on for that bit. Everyone switches places and there's an amazing quick change, and like 2 people come on. So by the time it comes on again, you're like, what the hell? It's amazing. But that was probably the most scariest thing ever. I still have anxiety. One day I was doing it, and you go clap, clap, and the tap is whatever, something like that. And I did clap, clap. I went and by now you should be starting changing. I was like, I can't like get the waistcoat on. I can't get it on. I can't get the waistcoat on. And I stopped tapping. I was like trying to get this waistcoat on. Like if you could see like the infrared or like me in the dark, I just stopped I was like, I'm gonna have to run off. I'm gonna have to run off because no one's never not made it. And literally, I'm talking about the last 2 seconds of the tap before the next clap.
Yeah.
Before the lights come on, I got it on.
Oh my god.
And I was like, and I got it on. I carried on. But honestly, like I was thinking, I've got to run into the wings. And there is a story that someone didn't make it.
Really?
In my time, yeah, and hid behind a door. There's like a single door that goes into the mission, like the mission, whatever we call it, making these little. And someone didn't make it, so they hid behind the door. Yeah.
I think it's better doing that than being the only one not wearing a waistcoat.
Yeah, definitely.
Because if there's like one person missing, no one's going to be like, oh, there's one person missing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because everyone else will have the thought to just move it, like use the space. You know what I mean?
And also, I forgot as well, Price has a waistcoat. Price is on the couch. I don't know if you remember this, but Price is on the couch with Cunningham.
I can't remember.
And it goes blackout, and he's got traffic. So he grabs his waistcoat. He's got a little sneaky waistcoat. It's hidden, but he grabs it. There's like a little window he goes through. This is all in blackout. Obviously, he's not tapping. And finds his little mark and gets his waistcoat on. But his waistcoat's like.
So is he in a different position as well?
He's on the couch like this, watching the dance, and it goes blackout. He grabs his waistcoat, goes through the dance break in the blackout, and finds his position, puts his waistcoat on.
So he's in a different place when the lights come on as well?
Yeah, so because then it finishes, turn it off, and then he's like in the middle, like that, because he's dancing, he's like, what? And he's got the waistcoat on. But I had trouble with Price's waistcoat, because Price's waistcoat's different to the boys.
Right.
Because the boys is like sort of like, the boys are the boys, they've got their sorted. But Price is like, because obviously Price has been in it throughout, like, he gets his waistcoat in a different way.
Yeah.
Yeah, very sneaky. Well, that's that.
There we go.
Bit of quick changes. I thought it was pretty fun. There's quite a lot of quick change stories.
Yeah.
It's like a constant, isn't it, in musical theatre, quick changes. I think people like a quick change as well. I think people like to go, how the hell has she just changed all that?
I just remembered another one I had that was mental. I had a truly scrumptious one, which was insane.
Yeah.
And I remember when they told me, I was like, surely not.
Yeah.
Like, surely not. I was in my Doll in the Music Box stuff, which is like a really sweet like dress and tights and like little white shoes and a wig. And I'd have to run off and change, take the wig off and then come back on for the end of the show. End of the show would happen and I'd be up in the car and they were like, yeah, Carrie, we actually want you in your original Truly outfit for the bows. I was like, surely I can just wear this. But that would mean correct because Pops would have to be in his clown suit and they didn't want that. So they wanted the both of us to change. But for him, it was just a big suit that pulled over his normal clothes. Whereas for me, it was a full change. So I had to get out of this dress, out of the tights and out of the shoes, back into a shirt that had like a gusset that went like between my legs and popped up here, a new pair of trousers, socks, and a massive pair of boots. And had to get my lipstick and makeup off as well. In the time it took for everyone else to bow. But by the time because the car used to come down so slowly because we'd been up in the air for the end, I used to have to lean forward and Lee Mead would have to unhook the whole of my dress.
Yeah.
It was mad. Just for the bows. Like not even for a part of the show, just to be in the right costume for the bows so that the family looked uniform.
I know we're going on a lot, but I feel we should quickly mention the quick change that never was.
Oh my god, the quick change that never was!
The Addams Family, the wedding.
So originally the Bows and the Addams Family was going to be Wednesday and Lucas getting married. And we rehearsed it. We did like a full week of rehearsals where this was like gonna happen. Where we were stood at the altar and Lurch was marrying us.
Yeah.
And there was like a whole like amazing choreography and it would be like everyone walking down the aisle was their bow. It was so good. I loved it so much. But Andrew,
it was like a funeral. Like it was amazing.
Yeah,
like
everyone was dressed in black with like black parasols.
Everyone was like sort of crying.
Yeah, the choreography was like that, wasn't it?
It's really good.
Oh, it was so brilliant. But Andrew Lipper decided that he wanted it just to be like us in the bows and not an extension of the show.
Yeah.
Which was such a shame because I loved it so much. It was so good. I remember Alice and Mal would come down drinking acrimonium, like tipsy. Oh, it was so brilliant. But we had wedding outfits that were made. And they were incredible.
Yeah,
and Diego, who was the costume designer and the set designer, wasn't he?
Yeah.
He created a curly haired Wednesday wig for me that was like this massive, like, oh, it was incredible, and it had like a big spider fascinator. It was so great. But I remember the thought of having to do that quick change did turn my stomach a little bit.
Oh yeah, we were never going to make it.
But the dress was unbelievable. The dress was unbelievable, and I'm so gutted that it never got to see the light of day.
Yeah, I had like these like black, I was all in black, and I had a big black top hat. It was really good, and it was just like tails, top hat and tails, but all like gothic. And like these massive like
yeah, you had big like lurch boots, didn't you?
Like huge boots, yeah. So that could have been, but it wasn't.
Yeah, the quick change that never was.
The quick change that never was. Right, everyone, it's been emotional. Be safe out there. Don't. You got anything? Shall I say it?
Go.
Don't do anything I wouldn't do.
That's a good one.
Yeah. I'm watching. Don't do anything I wouldn't do. Bye, everyone. Bye.